What's up, YouTube? Today we got another banging video. Today we got what dying on every drug feel like. Let's get into it.
The pencil incident. Shrooms are a natural psychedelic that cause hallucinations.
Shrooms.
About 30 minutes after eating them, colors get brighter, patterns start crawling on the walls, time stretches.
Believe it or not, bro, I never did drugs. Not even weed. Yep, I'm a good boy.
30 minutes after eating them, colors get
I
brighter,
heard
patterns
shrooms
start
are
crawling on the
crazy
walls,
though.
time stretches like taffy, and your sense of self begins to melt.
What
Your
the
brain is rushed into a state
fuck?
of euphoria, leaving you questioning what's real and what's not.
Yo.
What happens when you take too much? On a calm Saturday afternoon, a 21-year-old Hispanic man would return home from work and consume an unspecified quantity of shrooms. Shortly after consumption, he started experiencing a bad trip and begun acting erratically upon arriving to his house.
What the?
His stepfather and brother would step in and restrain him to try to calm him down, but he'd break free of their grasp and also break.
That nigga just turned into a superhuman. Oh my fucking gosh. Niggas took too many shrooms and turned into Captain America. Oh hell nah, this nigga about to be invincible. I know it, bro. Like nobody gonna be able to stop his ass.
And restrain him to try to calm him down, but he'd break free of their grasp and also break a
GG's,
glass
gang.
process.
GG's, bro.
In his
It's
frenzied
over.
state, he'd then begin to rub himself against the glass shards on the floor and severely injure his arm.
Yo.
His brother and stepfather would successfully intervene to stop him from injuring himself any further with the glass shards, and he'd be sat down at a desk. But shockingly enough, in a horrific act, he'd take a number 2 pencil that was laying on the desk, stand it upright, and repeatedly smash his head on the sharpened pencil. When he raised his head, he'd reveal that he jabbed the pencil repeatedly into both of his eye sockets. He would stand up again to do something else.
No. Just whoa. Just imagine seeing that in real time. What the fuck? Oh my.
The pencil repeatedly
I'm
into both of
speechless.
his eye sockets.
Gang.
Stand up again to do something else, but quickly vomited on himself,
Oh.
leaving his family in a state of total panic. Emergency services were called, where they tried desperately to save the young man's life. But unfortunately,
Dang.
they would only get so far. Shrooms are
R.I.P.
one of the least toxic substances in the world.
Yo.
You need to eat dozens or even hundreds of grams.
How many he ate then?
But that doesn't mean people can't die from it. Most fatalities come from behavioral toxicity, panicking, jumping out windows, walking into traffic, or doing something fatal during a full-blown psychotic break. You won't pass away from the drug itself. You'll pass away from what it does to your mind. Incident. Now let's talk about meth. When it hits, you feel invincible. This substance.
Oh yeah, I heard about meth, bro. Now I know what I said about the nigga that was on the shrooms and shit. Talk like he was Captain America, nigga. This shit gonna make you into the Incredible Hulk. No cap. I heard about meth.
Your sympathetic
You really gonna
and causes an explosive release of dopamine in your body. Your heart starts racing, you become laser focused, and you'll be filled with unstoppable energy. The high can last 8 to 16 hours.
Is it kind of crazy that that drugs can actually turn you into somewhat a superhuman, bro? Think about it. You know what I mean? You just got to think about it, bro. Because it's crazy that people that get like in bad accidents or even worse, some of them people survive because they own a certain type of drug. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Unstoppable energy. The high can last 8 to 16 hours.
Damn.
No sleep, no food, just intense stimulation. And when you take too much, your body turns into an absolute war zone. On May 26th, in Orlando, Florida, concerned bystanders would phone a call to police officers to let them know that there was a man on a racetrack shaking violently, asking to see his son.
I mean, okay. It's not funny, but it's funny. If that makes sense. Like, imagine seeing this, bro. Like, I wouldn't help but laugh.
When police arrived, he was nowhere to be found.
What the fuck?
Until suddenly he was located in a lake full of alligators. Officers would try to throw him a life vest, but he'd refuse it and would start getting attacked by the alligators in the water. and to officers' surprise, like it was a scene straight out of a horror movie,
No way.
the man actually resurfaced out of the lake,
Bro,
covered in severe injuries and carrying gardening shears.
fucking told y'all, bro. Super human, bro. Told y'all, bro. Bro, when people get on drugs, bro, they just start moving different, bro. That's why in school they always tell kids and even grown-ups, bro, never do drugs, bro. You on some drugs, I know you do not have control over your body, bro. You just don't. You just don't, bro. You're gonna end up killing yourself. Come on, bro. The best advice I could give to y'all is to stay sober. Cause believe it or not, bro, I never did drugs, bro. I feel incredible, bro. Dead ass.
The officers in their car, and in response, they would tase him repeatedly, but it would have absolutely no effect.
See?
It was only when the man jumped into the passenger seat of the police cruiser and tried reaching for a rifle in the vehicle
They
that
shot him?
officers finally used lethal force.
Damn.
It hijacks your brain's reward system and sends your body into overdrive. It burns out your dopamine center and disrupts your central nervous system so much that your body both loses touch with reality and can no longer regulate its temperature. Your organs can literally cook from the inside out, and collapse. You can have a heart attack, or you could simply just go on a rampage and meet an early demise. The one.
Fuck that though. Not like fuck that, but like R.I.P. to him. But my nigga, we ain't just gonna skip over the fact that this nigga just survived some gators and hopped out the water like he's fucking Jason. We not gonna forget that. That's crazy. Hey, I might die myself if I seen that. I might just pass out. I might faint. I might have a heart attack. I was like, what the hell? But R.I.P. to him, bro.
108th incident.
108th
incident. One of the most commonly used substances in the United States. 108th incident.
Let someone die from that.
By far one of the most commonly used substances in the United States.
I gotta hear this.
Within minutes of smoking, you're relaxed. Music sounds better. Jokes are funnier. And you get really, really hungry. You might feel euphoric, or anxious, or both.
How someone died from weed
and your brain chemistry. So what happens when you smoke too much of it? Well, here's the truth. You can't die from THC toxicity alone. There's no known lethal dose in humans. You'd have to smoke thousands of joints in a short time to even come close. But that doesn't mean weed is harmless. In the spring of 2018 in California, a woman who had just befriended a man at a dog park she frequently visited would follow him home to his apartment for a quick spark-up session, which, mind you, is totally legal in the state of California.
Yeah, California legal. Okay, everything going calm so far.
After
nothing out of the ordinary.
Through a bong, the woman would unexpectedly shoot up from her seat straight to the kitchen and grab 3 knives.
Yo, whoa.
And maybe some chicken to... Oh.
Whoa.
Are you trying to chop up some salsa?
What the hell?
I love salsa.
Don't tell me you about to kill him, bro.
I'm not making salsa.
That AI has voice. What the fuck?
I love salsa.
Bitch sound like Siri.
Jim, I'm not making salsa.
In just the blink of an eye, she would stab the man repeatedly 108 times. His body would be covered in marks from head to toe, and his face would nearly be entirely carved out. Officers that arrived at the scene would find that she had also stabbed her dog, and shockingly enough, had stabbed herself 40 times, and was still in the process of doing it. They would quickly intervene and try to quickly stop her, but it wasn't enough. Officers would tase her 4 times to try to break her psychotic frenzy, but to no avail. In order to get her to stop, one police officer had to swing a baton at her arm 9 times to break it. And
hey, gang. Ain't no one never said we could do this.
Finally, she would release her.
What happened?
From the knife.
Okay, she had to be like mentally unstable, right?
The man unfortunately didn't make it.
R.I.P., bro. That's a sad way to go out.
Even more shockingly, she faced 0 prison time for her actions. It was proven in court that she experienced what is commonly known as cannabis-induced psychosis.
That shit almost made me... Bro, when I get out of my seat, you know it's something serious. That shit almost made me get out of my seat. She faced no... Bro, what type of... Bro, she got the best of the best lawyer on that case, gang. What the fuck? Bro, bro. Come on, gang. I said it was something mentally that had to been wrong with her. But it's bro, I don't know, bro. What the fuck, gang? That's crazy. Is that not crazy? That's crazy. I don't care what no one say. That's crazy. And this shit happened a lot. People like try to play this they is not mentally stable role to get out of their prison sentences. And the shit work. Not saying that she's mentally unstable or she is mentally unstable, but some people literally not be mentally unstable, but it works.
And even more shockingly, she faced 0 prison time.
That's crazy,
because it was
man.
proven in court.
I wonder
that
how
she
his
experienced
parents
what is
feel.
commonly known
I would
as
be
cannabis-induced
I'd be
psychosis.
outraged, bro.
The woman was very inexperienced when it came to smoking weed, and that potentially played a huge role in why she experienced this rare phenomenon.
What?
She was placed on probation for 2 years and was required to do 100 hours of community service.
What?
The man's family, especially his father, were extremely upset when they heard about this.
And they got every right to be. They got every right to be.
Understandably so.
It should never have happened. She should have never have been allowed to walk free. She should have done some time. You know, you had a jury that convicted her, a unanimous conviction, in less than 4 hours. And the judge went completely against all 3 of those entities and just said, you're free to go.
Bro.
Stove. YouTube
Stove.
really didn't like the case on ecstasy that I found. So
Oh, shit. You two don't like it, bro. I'm not going to even say it.
instead,
Continue.
we go over this situation.
Not gonna even say the word.
26-year-old martial arts fighter and his sparring partner consumed an unnatural amount of shrooms while in their apartment. Initially, everything was fine, until they became convinced that the world was coming to an end.
Oh
and
my
that the two were
gosh.
fighting a battle of life.
Hey. Yeah, I was about to say, bro. We got a lot of crazy people out here. They will fight for the death when they think the world is ending.
And death between God and the devil. The two would begin their legendary battle, and finally, when the struggle finished, their friend would walk into their apartment room,
What happened?
only to find the martial arts fighter standing butt
Whoa.
naked in the kitchen, cooking his friend's heart and remains in a stove.
Ew.
The victim would be found laying on the couch, missing his face, tongue, and heart.
How do you even respond if you walk into that? I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'd be scared as shit, bro. I would just have to just slowly back out the room like I wasn't even there.
The
That's
autopsy
wild.
revealed that he was alive when his chest was ripped open and his heart was taken out.
What the fuck?
The martial arts
R.I.P.
fighter wouldn't be as lucky as the woman in our last case. He'd be formally charged and sentenced to 47 years
Good.
in state prison for what he did to his friend. Now,
Good.
this probably
Wait.
makes 47 years in
MMA fighter. Oh shit, I don't think y'all can see his game. MMA fighter game. What the? Oh my goodness. That's why I got out of my seat. That shit just shook me.
state prison. for
Yo.
what he did to his friend. Now, this probably makes the
MMA
US legal
fighter?
system come off as a little hypocritical, considering that in the other case, the woman was allowed to blame psychosis for her actions.
Yeah.
And be cleared of any severe wrongdoing.
Yeah,
Whereas
that's
in this
crazy.
case, the fighter's state of influence was ignored, and he was directly sentenced. But honestly, that's your opinion to make. When it comes to overdosing on psilocybin, you'll find that it rarely ever ends you through toxicity alone.
Yeah.
You'll need to eat an absurd amount for that to actually happen.
Pretty much like overdose type shit. Whatever the limit is, probably like 3 times more than that limit to actually do shit like this.
Real danger is psychosis, panic, and delusion. Once you compromise the healthiness and security of your mind for a quick burst of excitement, you'll find that that's where things go haywire. So in other words,
Yeah.
don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs,
Have a happy
kids.
day.
This is another reason why I never did drugs, gang. I probably would never will, bro. Even weed. Even though I know weed is not like crazy. But the reason I haven't or never did the shit because one, honestly, I never really cared for it. But second, probably shit like this, bro. Certain drugs that you don't have control over, certain drugs that make you act different, you don't got control over your body. No, not me. W video though. W video. I might got to check out some more from this channel. This shit was lit. But if y'all like the video, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notice.